Chelsea Football Club, Liam Delap decided that he's going to come to Chelsea Football Club. Not Manchester United, not the other 5 clubs that we're interested in, but Chelsea Football Club. 2 reputable sources in Ornstein and Fabrizio say it, and it's basically a here we go. Secondly, it doesn't mean that we're not getting another striker. Reports in Germany are saying this does not affect the Hugo Ekitike deal. Chelsea are in intense talks, advanced talks. However, reports in Portugal are saying now that Gyokores might not be off the card. Chelsea are Conference League champions, they've secured top 4, and now they want to go get a marquee prime striker. We're going to talk about that because the same day that we're linked with Gyokores, we're also linked with Rodrigo. I've got a few things to say about that. Secondly, the fear-mongering. People told me, Santos ain't going to stay at Chelsea. We're going to sell him to Arsenal, sell him to Juve, sell him to Bayern, PSG. No, Santos has come out, really put his 10 toes down on the floor. He said he wants to be at Chelsea. He loves the club. Enzo Maresca was frank with him. And I'm gonna give you the quotes. I'm gonna explain to you the story and how you shouldn't buy the nonsense that you read all the time. But before we get started, number 1, hit that like button. It's the best way for you lot to support the channel. Number 2, subscribe to the channel, and that's the way we're gonna make the channel grow. And thirdly, if you can't get enough of the Kavkas View, I've got a TikTok now. Go follow me there as well. Pinned comment below. Let's get started. This is the breaking news. This is the big news. Liam Delap has finally made his decision. Like I've been mocking, like I've been making the jokes, Liam Delap's been doing this tour and he's gonna take his talents to West London, not South East, West London. What's going on? Let me explain to you. Liam Delap, Ipswich got relegated, so he had a £30 million release clause. This release clause basically made him prime for anybody that was interested in a striker. This is a bargain. English, 22 years old, scored goals in the Premier League for 1 season, and all of a sudden, £30 million, everyone's eyes were like this. They've got stars all over their eyes. They're looking at Liam Delap, they're like, hey, I want some of you, mate. That's what they're saying out here. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting. He's basically done a tour, and for David Ornstein today confirmed the clubs that he's spoken to. Manchester United, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Everton, Newcastle, Forest, AC Milan and Juventus. All of those clubs he's spoken to, whether it's advanced talks or whether it's light talks, he's made his decision. He wants Chelsea Football Club. He's going to be coming to Chelsea Football Club, and this has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano and David Ornstein. This story is basically they've agreed to pay it. He's given their word that he's going to them. Now it's a matter of agreeing the wages and paying the release clause. Simple as. However, why has he done this and how do I feel? Liam Delap to Chelsea is a very interesting move. The reason it's interesting is because Enzo Maresca and Joe Shields both knew him before. They both coached him and scouted him, meaning he already knows the pathway. He already knows what he's getting himself in, knowing he already comes into a system that believes in him. It doesn't matter if they signed a big star. Even if they signed a big star, they're going to give him opportunities. They gave him his word. They met with him. They gave him confirmation. We believe in you. And in reality, we've heard the way Enzo talks about Liam Delap. He talks about him like a firstborn son. He talks about him like second coming of an adopted son. Genuinely, he speaks about him like a proud father. He said he's been doing this to people since he was 18 years old, since I managed him. He bullies people, he enforces himself, he's a brilliant player. He was tapping him up in public in press conferences. So Liam Delap ticks the boxes of Enzo Maresca and Joe Shields. Sporting directors apparently wanted Hugo Ekitike, and we're going to talk about that. But this is where my opinion needs to come. I think this is a good deal. I don't think it's a great deal. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best deal that we've ever done. This is a bargain. This is guaranteed to hit. I can't do that for you. I think one of the things I've done on this channel is gain credibility for my honesty. I say it how it is. I don't mind going against the grain. People don't like the ownership. I like the ownership. I think they're not perfect. I think there's things that they can do to improve. However, they do a lot of things right. And in this case, they're backing the manager. Whilst I don't always agree in backing the manager and giving him exactly what he wants, when your manager gets you top 4 and when your manager gets you Conference League trophy, meaning in his debut season, he's got you 69 points and he's got your Conference League trophy, and now we're going into the Club World Cup, and he wants a striker between Hugo Ekitike and Delap is the cheaper alternative, you give him that. I think sometimes you need to pick your battles in life. And in this case, I think the sporting directors and the ownership group picked their battles and they went with the scout that they trust in Joe Shields and the manager that they hired in Enzo Maresca. And for me, this is beautiful because it's give and take in every relationship. Sometimes you make sacrifices, sometimes you get your own way. And that's the method of a successful relationship. And for me, I don't know what Delap's going to do. However, I'll be very disappointed if this is the only striker we acquire. When it comes to getting strikers, Chelsea Football Club apparently want two. And this is where it gets very interesting. The first one we've been linked with is Hugo Ekitike. What do we know? We know that Frankfurt won £85 million. £85 million, the release clause is €100 million. We also know Frankfurt are very stubborn. They sold Colomwani for stupid fees, they sold Jovic, Allaire and Mamouche all for stupid fees, meaning they are not going to penny pinch. Secondly, we know that Liverpool won him. So straight away, the fact that Liverpool won him with Edwards and their scouting regime, you know that this player is going to be kind of good. Edwards knows what he's doing. They don't go in for big names with big price tags unless this person's amazing. They like the value for money. Their approach is data-driven just like Chelsea's. So that's kind of green lights. However, this is where it gets very interesting. According to Plettenberg and Sky Germany, the fact that Chelsea are getting Delap does not mean this is over for Hugo Ekitike. Yesterday, there were reports coming out that Chelsea were in advanced talks and they're trying to wrap the deal up before Liverpool find the funds. Liverpool need to sell to buy. All the money that they've had is going into Gyokores, Frimpong and Wirtz. Any more signings that they need to do, they need to sell to buy. Meaning, Diaz needs to go, or Nunez needs to go, or Jota needs to go. Now this gets interesting because why would Chelsea get another striker? Because the reports coming out that Jackson is going to leave are true. Look, sometimes there is no smoke without fire, right? Because there is a lot going on with Nicholas Jackson. And you saw the way Enzo Maresca has been speaking publicly, he's let us down. The way that Nicholas Jackson has been basically hitting out. There's reports that he's struggling to acclimatize to demands at Chelsea purely based on the fact that people aren't supporting him. He thinks the fans are being too harsh. He is somebody that is most probably struggling with the pressure of being a Chelsea football player. Look, it is not easy. Always being on social media. Guys, I have a tiny platform here, right? My platform is tiny. I got 40,000 people watching me. In comparison to Premier League footballers, it's nothing. But there are days where I don't read the comments because if I say something that I know is not popular, is not exactly what you lot want to hear, people cook me. So my solution is I don't read it. And you know what? I'm better for it. This is not a boohoo, can you absolutely, feel sorry for me. It's not that. I'm just telling you. I have enough discipline not to read it. But I can imagine the volume of messages Jackson or any other footballer gets is crazy. I saw this thing yesterday. Badiashile commented on Caicedo's photo. And he said, best in the world. Some muppet went on that photo and commented that under Badiashile's one, you're the worst. Like, genuinely. And then Badiashile replied, thanks for that. Badiashile played it off cool. However, I promise you, that would have triggered him. That would have rattled him. That person went out of his way to make sure that Badiashile saw something said about him. That is a horrible job to be in. And for me, I think Jackson will leave. Whether we get Ekitike and whether that price gets paid, it's a different question. The other striker we're linked with, and I don't believe this, all right? I'm going to explain to you guys what's going to happen from now till the end of the window in end of August, right? What's going to happen is we're going to get linked with 21 players a day. I'm going to be tired. You're going to hear my voice a lot. You're going to be asking for more videos, and I'm going to have to deliver those videos because part of what I do here is I react to the news, right? I don't have sources. I gather the sources and I tell you lot the stories. And we discuss it whether it's real or fake. However, and this is where it gets interesting, Record in Portugal is reporting that Chelsea have made an inquiry into Victor Gyokores. What do we know about this? Number one, Record is basically the equivalent to the Sun in England, right? Not very reputable. It's the equivalent to Diarios in Spain. When they say something, you don't really take notice because they've said we signed Ugarte in the past. They've got so many things wrong. They're a clickbait media group, right? They get their clicks by exaggerating a story, and if they hit, they hit. Personally, I don't believe it's true. Like, history tells us they're not a very reputable source. They're saying that we've inquired into the conditions of Victor Gyokores. We're trying to get the deal done. I don't buy it. What I think is happening here is Victor Gyokores' people are dealing with Arsenal and Manchester United. He ain't interested in going to Manchester United. Arsenal are leaning towards Šeško. And what does that do? It leaves Gyokores in the middle of nobody. Because Arsenal, are getting Šeško. United can't afford him. And what? Chelsea don't want him. Because he's been there. Chelsea haven't been chasing. Chelsea want Ekitike. I'm telling you right now, that's the one they want. And the other source that's come out now is Diarios. And Diarios in Spain is coming out that Chelsea are going to inquire about the £100 million move for Rodrigo. Waffle, absolute waffle. In Portuguese, absolute porcaria. Absolute rubbish. And the reason why it's rubbish is because we've heard what Alonso said. Alonso called him a spectacular player. He absolutely spoke about him in glowing terms. He spoke about him the way I talk about my steak when it arrives. You know that one? When you get that brilliant steak when you go and you describe it to someone, you're like, oh, that ribeye was amazing. You know, flavorful, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic, grilled, the chill grill. You know what I'm talking about. I'm hungry right now. But that's how Alonso spoke about, Rodrigo. He spoke about him like he's the best player in the world. We know they're going to have a meeting. The meeting hasn't happened yet. What makes you think he would want to leave and come to Chelsea from Real Madrid? You've heard the way he speaks about the club. I don't believe it. I think it's nonsense. Until I get Fabrizio, until I get Ornstein, until I get someone reliable, Fabrice Hawkins, somehow he gets the Brazilian sources. I will not believe it. Enough about strikers, let's talk about my midfield. Listen, first of all, Chelsea won the Conference League and our midfield was cooking. Like, you got Caicedo, blonde hair, don't care. You've got Romeo Lavia wearing those glasses, AI glasses, recording everything in sight because he's not allowed to play. You got Enzo Fernandez, blonde hair, don't care. He's got little tappy taps, on the edge of his thing, scoring headers. Late runs like he's second coming of Frank Lampard. And what are we going to do? We're going to add Dario Sugu and we're going to add Andrey Santos. And everybody's been telling me we're going to get rid of Santos. We're going to get rid of Santos. Santos is going to stay at Chelsea. We're not going to have Santos. Lies. Santos has come out and spoke about his love for the club. And he said how he feels the love. His growing ambition is to play for Chelsea. He wants to break in at Chelsea. And he really respects Enzo Maresca, how Enzo Maresca was frank with him and told him he needed to go and get some minutes. Because he won't get the minutes to develop here. And for me, this is brilliant. What he also said is he can't wait to go to the Club World Cup and see what it means. And at the Club World Cup, then we'll see where it goes. He said the fan love he gets from Chelsea fans on Instagram is crazy. He appreciates it dearly. And this is the place he wants to be. Guys, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you get excited. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this is going to be one of the best midfielders at this club. And we've got 3 phenomenal midfielders already. We have got a player that has got a mixture of all 3 of Lavia, Caicedo and Enzo coming in. Goal scoring attributes from midfield. Good in the air. Strong, powerful, robust, intelligent, passing range, versatile. This kid is special. I am gassing him up because he's that good. I've watched him. I've seen it with los ojos, setimi glazami. I've seen it with these eyes. I know what I see here. I am putting the full bank of Kavkas in the middle that this kid will be amazing. If he doesn't make it at Chelsea, it's Chelsea's fault. This will have nothing to do with Andrey Santos. Mentality's on point. Ability to perform is on point. Proven track record. Vasco da Gama, Chelsea, right? That one game he played in preseason for us, it should have been enough to know that this kid's the bomb. However, we've seen it now. It is what it is. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow, I will be traveling. Like a lot of you say, you're always traveling, going on holiday. I am going on holiday tomorrow. So, there will be no video. But the day after, if there's any breaking news, I will be here. But the uploads will be sporadic for the next 7 days, right? So, this is why you got to hit your bell notification so you know when the Kavkas View's talking. But it is what it is. Have a lovely day. Peace out. I'm out. Chelsea won a trophy under Blue Co. Wow, it's a miracle.